Hey y'all, hello. Happiest Friday to you. Happy Friday. If you're catching the replay, as always, thank you so much for watching. And you can always share your key takeaways right below in the comments. All right, y'all, welcome. I am Siobhan, your community cultivator, founder of Be Free Project. And I believe that every single woman deserves to be free and fulfilled in her life. And so what I do is I teach women how to get unstuck, how to truly live the life that they desire to live, and so they can be free and find fulfillment. And you can learn more about all of the things that I do over at BeFreeProject.com. And you can learn more about the Be Free Inner Circle, which is my membership space where like-minded, positive women are doing the personal growth work. I get to coach them and mentor them and really watch them flourish. And when I tell you, it warms all the pieces of my heart as I'm seeing women join and feeling stuck in some area of their life, and then month after month after month they're showing up and they're doing the work, and I get to be a witness to it. Truly amazing. And then also it's a space where you find your forever friends, and I talk a lot about friendship and personal growth over on the Be Free Project podcast, right? And so I believe that women need other women around them to really change the trajectory of their life. And I've learned so much just in the friendships that I have, that I built a whole community around building real, genuine friendships. So if you want to learn more about the Be Free Inner Circle, head over to BeFreeInnerCircle.com. Lastly, again, I do have a podcast that you can tune into every single Wednesday, and I talk a lot about personal growth and friendship. And then also, if you ever want to leave a voicemail, there's a way that you can do that. If you just share like, oh, I love this episode and I want to tell you all the things, or you want to ask the question, you can do that as well. And you can find all that information right over on my website. All right, so what I want to talk about today is now is not the time to give up. And I wanted to have this conversation because I am noticing a pattern that's happening inside the Be Free Inner Circle, and just people that I'm coming in contact with, where they're frustrated with the direction that their life is going in. They feel like everything is going wrong and they're facing so many challenges and they feel like giving up. And I get it. I understand it. I talked about this on this week's episode of the podcast, how you got to fight for your life, because no one, and I mean no one, is coming to save you. And I had to realize that for myself like several years ago, because I kept blaming other people for how they did not show up in my life, right? And especially when I talk about like mother wounds, and because my mother wasn't active in my life, and there were so many things that I was angry with her for, and I was frustrated, and I would blame her for the choices that she made or the choices that she didn't make, right? And I got to a point where I was like, you know what, this is not helping you. It's not helping you by blaming anybody else. You gotta take control of your life. And so when I realized that nobody was coming to save me or help me or anything like that, I'm like, okay, how am I going to show up for myself? And the very first thing that I decided, that I was not going to give up on myself no matter what. Life will be hard. Challenges will come. Things will be thrown at me left or right. But at the end of the day, I will never, ever give up on myself. And so I wanted to talk about this today, because inside the Be Free Inner Circle, there's some ladies who are going through some very challenging times. And what is happening is that when life comes at them, it's like, okay, now it's time for me to give up. Now it's time for me to quit. Now it's time for me to just give up in general. And that is not the thing. Like, you have to realize that, yes, you're going to have times where you're overwhelmed. There's going to be moments when you are very stressed out. There's going to be moments where you don't have the relationships or the friendships that you desire. There's going to be moments when you feel like the world is against you. And that's when you have to press pause and just kind of reflect and take it all in. It's not to say, oh, I need to stop doing this personal growth work because it's not working. It works. It definitely works. But this is a thing, and I'm sure you've heard this before, is that when the moments when you get to where you feel like you want to give up, those are the times when you want to keep going. There's so many people who end up giving up, and if they would just keep going, they can get to the beauty on the other side. And so I'll even share my own business with y'all, because y'all know how it is. Oh, you know what I forgot to say before? First, let me take a drink of water. I forgot two things, very important things. Whenever you come on and watch me live, Always make sure you have a notebook and a pen so that you can take notes, because I'm going to be saying all the things and you're going to be like, ooh, I should have wrote that down. Always come prepared with a pen and notebook. The second thing I want you to do is make sure you hit the little arrow in the bottom and invite your friends to come over and join us for this live chat. That way, the more, the merrier. And then if you have any questions whatsoever that comes up while I'm talking, I would love for you to post them in the comment section or the little Q&A box, and I will be sure to answer you. And then also engage with me. So as I'm talking, because I got right into it, I'm like, oh, I'm getting right into my flow. And I'm like, wait a minute, I got some things to say first. But I love for you to double tap the screen and give hearts and share your comments in the comment section. That will be really amazing, because this is interactive. This is not, and I'll say this every single week, y'all, I'm not getting on here to give you an emotional high. Right? I'm not on here just to make you feel good. I'm on here to share the things that are working in my life, to help you shift your mindset, to encourage you, to inspire you. And then you take something away and you say, okay, based on what I heard from Siobhan during this time that we were on live, this is what I'm going to do, right? I'm an action person. If y'all know me, y'all already know, like, I am very action oriented. So I really want you to think about, okay, what am I going to apply from this message that I'm hearing today? All right. So let's get into it for real. So I was going to share, like, even this week, I had a very challenging moment. And it was some things that was happening in my business that I was frustrated. I was very frustrated. I was crying. I'm like, dang it. Why is this happening right now? Why is this particular thing happening in my company? And not only did I have some things that were challenging within my company that were happening, but I have some things going on in my personal life. And so you know how when one thing happens and it's another thing and another thing, and then you feel like I cannot take anything else. That was where I was at. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to get in my bed and I'm going to cry. And that's what I did. I cried and released all of the tears, because I didn't want to keep all of that bottled up inside. What was this, on Wednesday? Was this when? I think this was on Wednesday. Yes, it was. And so then the negative thoughts started to kind of go through my mind about you're not good enough and all of this stuff, that when you're in a down moment or a sad moment or what have you, then the thoughts will start to come up. And so as I'm laying in the bed crying, I'm just allowing the feelings and all of the jazz. And my husband was encouraging me at the time. And then I was like, all right, you've had your moment of crying. Now it's time to get yourself up. And I gave myself a pep talk, because I was like, all right, you got to, what was that? Yeah, it was Wednesday. So I had a weekly live chat happening inside the Be Free Inner Circle. And I'm like, at the end of the day, you got to show up, right? And so I got on the live and I was like, you know what, y'all? I need y'all to fill my cup today. I said, emotionally, I'm not here. I just had this moment that just kind of shook me a little bit. And within minutes, I was energized, because there were so many women that had showed up, not only for me, but for themselves. And I'm like, all right, you got to inspire them. You got to encourage them. And that's what I did. And this is why community is so important. This is why having amazing friends is so important, because there are going to be times when you need someone else to lift you up. There is going to be times when you need someone else to hold your hand, to encourage you, right? And so as I was sharing that with them, and then seeing all their faces, and then them sharing how they are showing up for themselves and doing their work, I'm like, Siobhan, this is why you do what you do, right? This is why you show up, because all these women that have invested in the Be Free Inner Circle, they need you to pour into them. There may be moments, like that day, I'm like, I just needed to see their faces. And once I saw their faces, I was like, all right, let's get it. Right? Because I know the work that I do. And so, yes, I had a hard moment just like anybody else. But guess what? I have decided that I will not give up on myself. And so I want the same thing for you. Like, whatever comes up your way, and I know we go through friendship breakups, divorce, losing your job, family members get sick, life happens. There's so many different things that are going on, but that does not mean that you quit. Just press pause and say, okay, what am I supposed to learn in this moment, right? And even when the negative thoughts come up, you have to be able to replace those negative thoughts with something positive right away. Because if you let them just stay in your mind, then you'll start to believe them. And when you start to believe them, then you get more depressed, you get sad, anxiety, all of the things, right? And so, again, now is not the time that you quit. And so whatever you're facing in your life right now, whatever is challenging, just say, all right, let me take a pause. Let's reflect on this whole situation that's going on right now. What can I do about it, right? How can I show up for myself? right? And what helps me, I'm going to share 3 very important things towards the end of this call, but what helps me first and foremost is journaling. Journaling to get my thoughts on paper, right? Let me kind of just write these things out, so then that way I'm not keeping it internally. That way I'm expressing it on paper. And so when I had the frustrating moment the other day, I was like, all right. And then the next morning I woke up energized too. I'm like, I am ready. So I will be honest with you. There used to be a time when sorry, my window's open. It's very loud outside. There used to be a time where it would take me days to recover from something bad. I don't say something bad, but like having a challenging moment in my life. Like I could be down for 2 to 3 days, if not longer. And just, you know what? I got to close my window 1 second because these kids are so loud. I am so distracted by it. Or I don't want to be distracted by it because it was very, very loud. Pardon me. Yeah, those kids were like so loud. All right. But yes, there was a time when it would take me longer to recover based on whatever was happening in my life. And I would be in a very sad state, woe is me, just all of the sad feelings. And now, because of the personal growth work that I've been doing, my recovery time is very fast. So like I told you, that moment, maybe I got really, really sad. I don't know. It took an hour. We'll just say that. Maybe an hour to like get myself together. Like, we're not staying in this space. Because if I stay in that space, then I cannot show up for my community. Then I cannot show up for my family. And at the end of the day, I can't show up for myself. I know that I've been called to do this work. I know that I'm here to be a light and empower others to be free. I also understand that I am going to face challenges in my life, but that does not mean it's time to give up. No, it's just time to press pause, to reflect, to think, and then pour back into myself, right? And so I shared this affirmation on the Be Free Project podcast this week, and it's an affirmation that I live by. Everything is always working out for my good, always and always. Everything is always working out for my good. And even if I cannot see it in the moment, I know that it's working out for my good. And so when you think about any life challenge that you have had, it's only temporary, right? It's not forever. It's just in this moment. So you have to be willing to say, you know what? This is something temporary that's happening in my life. I'm going to keep going no matter what. I'm not going to allow this thing or this person or this situation to make me quit, right? I'm going to keep going. Everything is always working out for your good. Always working out for your good. And if you can remember that affirmation and recite it over and over again, that can be your inspiration to keep going. Because everything is always working out for your good. And even if you look back over your life at other situations, you're not dealing with them anymore. You're in a different place, right? So that just shows you the truth in that affirmation that everything is always working out for your good. Now, it may not feel like it in the moment, but you'll get to the other side of it. Right? And so today's live is simply to encourage you because of the things that I'm seeing in the inner circle. And then I had my own moment this week and I'm like, all right, Siobhan, if you're having this moment, trust and believe somebody else can relate and they're probably feeling the same. So that's why I want to talk about that today. So what else do I want to share? So I want you to decide that you will never, ever, ever, ever give up on yourself. And tell me in the comments, say, you know what, Siobhan? I ain't never quitting on myself, right? No, before you tell me that, are you going through something challenging right now? Tell me that. Is there something in your life that you're going through that's very challenging right now? Let's talk about it, right? I'm going to share with you the 3 things that I do every single day, no matter what, that has been a game changer for me. 3 things, and I call it the 3 to be free. And these 3 things are a staple in my life. Like when I was thinking about, I think several months ago, sometime last year, I was having a conversation with a friend. And as we were talking, and I don't know how the conversation came up, but I'm like, there's 3 things that I always do every single day, period. I always do these 3 things. And these 3 things have been a game changer in my life. These 3 things is how I'm able to continue to show up for myself. These 3 things have really built the foundation of who I am. And so now that I know that these 3 things that I'm going to share with you, right? If you implement just one, I want you to do all 3, but if you implement just one and then add on the next and add on to the next, I promise you, you will see a shift happen in your life. I promise you that, right? And I'm speaking from experience. But the key thing is you have to be consistent. Everybody wants to give up when life gets hard. No, this is not the time that you give up, right? Giving up is easy. That's the easy part. And then this is, I don't know why I'm getting loud, but if you give up, what are you going to do? Like, if you say, you know what, I quit this personal growth journey. I don't want to work on myself in this area, this area, this area. What you gonna do? Just sit there and be like everybody else? What are your options? Because that's me. I don't have another option but to keep doing the work. Growth is one of my top 5 values, right? And so because I'm so passionate about what I'm doing and living the life that I desire to live, I can't quit, right? And because I'm like, what am I going to do? Sit around and do nothing? No, that's not an option. I know what my purpose is. I know what I've been called to do. And so because of that, I got to keep going, even when it gets tough. And thank God I have amazing friends that are truly supportive, that I can process my thoughts and my feelings with. And again, they encourage me and inspire me as well. So these 3 things I want you to implement into your day-to-day life. And I don't want to hear no excuses. That's one thing I get tired of. I do. I get tired of people making excuses as to why they can't do something. And every single thing that I'm about to share with you today is free. It ain't like I'm saying go buy this. No. These 3 things I'm about to share with you are absolutely free. So if you choose not to do them, that's on you. It's not on me, right? Because you can start doing these things immediately. And y'all like, Siobhan, tell me the 3 things. You keep talking about it. Tell me. I'm going to tell you when I take my water. Sending you love and light, purple lotus flower. I'm so sorry to hear about your 16-year-old passing away. Sending you love and light. And thank you for taking time today to be here with me. I don't take that lightly. Thank you. Sending you so much love and light. And thank you for sharing that on this platform. I appreciate that. 3 things. Number 1, I walk every single day. So the thing that I need, if you can walk, if you have the ability to move your legs every single day, go outside and go for a walk. I told y'all I started during the pandemic. So March of last year, and I have not missed a day of walking, no matter what the weather is. We have had blizzards in Cleveland. We have had lots of rain. It has been extremely cold. I live in the Midwest. That does not stop me from walking. And I have gotten DMs from people asking me, how do you walk every day? I put on my coat, I put on my shoes, I prepare for the weather, and I go for a walk. There is not an option. And the reason that I choose to walk every single day is for many different reasons. Initially, it was literally just to get out the house to have something to do. But it has become a spiritual practice. It's become a way that I connect with God. And just being connected with nature and feeling the air. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to watch the seasons change. Y'all, I remember when I was working in corporate America, and I would say to myself, I just wanted to be free. I just wanted to be free. I wanted to have control over my own time and how I showed up. And I started appreciating, my life even more, that I get to go for walks at 9, 10 o'clock in the morning sometimes. Sometimes I go much earlier, but and I get to watch the seasons change. So when fall was coming in, when spring was coming in, like I could visually feel it, I could visually see it, and I can feel it. And I'm like, man, I live a good life. I'm not in the hustle and bustle of life. I am using my time to go for a walk, and I can see the change of the seasons. I don't know why, that just hit me, and I appreciate that so much. So every single day I go for a walk. And I'm going to say, if walking is new for you, right? Start 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes. My walks are longer. It just depends on what's going on in my life. Right now, I'm averaging probably 15,000 to 17,000 steps a day, right? But that's me. But if you are just getting started and you're like, okay, I want to incorporate this 3 to be free. I want to get started with doing what Siobhan is suggesting. Just go outside for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And then gradually increase that. That's number 1. I'm like, I got 2. That is number 1. To walk every single day. All right. The second thing is affirm yourself, right? Every single day, speak life over yourself. What do I mean? Everything is always working out for my good. That's a beautiful affirmation that you can recite every day, right? I am more than good enough and I get better every day, right? I am a powerful manifester, right? Affirm the woman you are and the woman you desire to become every single day. The best way to do that has been really, really helpful for me, is I plug in affirmations on my phone and my alarm. So every hour there's an affirmation that goes off, right? Right now I have the same affirmation going off several times a day that says money is important to me. The reason that affirmation is going off every so many hours is because that is a new belief that I'm trying to program into my mind. Because if y'all been watching the book club that I'm doing on Wednesdays with a couple of ladies, we're talking about the book We Should All Be Millionaires. And one of the limiting beliefs that I've had is that money wasn't important to me. And so now what I'm doing is reprogramming my mind to say, no, money is important to me and I want all the money to flow my way, right? So that is an easy way for you to have the affirmations set, so then that way you don't have to think about them. So use the alarm settings on your phone and just go. I know with the iPhone, you go under label, you put your affirmation in there, you save it, and then have it go off every single hour. If you need the same one to go off until you can believe it, you can choose different ones, whatever. But affirm yourself every single day, because you have to reprogram your mind to release yourself from the negative thoughts so you can put in positive thoughts. I also have, and I talked about these last week, the Girl Be Free affirmation cards. And it's a deck of 31 positive statements that you can use to affirm yourself every single day. You can keep them in your car, your purse, you can keep them on your desk at work, wherever. But every single card in here is different, and it's a great way to affirm yourself. And you can even take the affirmations in this deck and plug those into your phone, right? Plug these positive affirmations in your phone. And I know for me, what has been so helpful, because now even when negative thoughts arise, I can immediately say, oh, no. Like I remember I had a moment like maybe a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know what was going on in my life, but the negative thoughts started to flow in, and I had to say out loud, I had to start talking to myself. I said, we're not doing that today. No, you are more than good enough. You're a powerful manifestor. Like all of my affirmations, I just started reciting, and then the negative thoughts were gone. It's like, no, there's no space for that. But if you don't affirm yourself, and then every little negative thought that you believe about yourself, that's going to make you sad and depressed. So the second thing is, every single day, multiple times throughout the day, you need to affirm the woman that you are and the woman that you are becoming. Every single day you need to affirm yourself. All right? The third thing that I need you to do is to take action, right? Every single day, take action and move forward, period, right? What do I mean by that? Your actionable step could be something like updating your resume for the job that you want to apply for. It could be increasing your prices in your company. It could be finally having the hard conversation with a relative. You get to decide what that is, but every single day you need to be taking some type of action to move forward in your life. If you're not moving forward, then guess what? You're going to be stuck. Guess what? You will be stagnant. Guess what? You will not be living the life that you desire to live, because you're not making any effort. So those three things every single day is what I implement into my life. And I call it the 3 to be free. I have a whole podcast episode on it. I mentioned it this week on the podcast as well. And those three things is every single day, go for a walk. Get outside. And these are the things that I'm doing. So I'm not telling you to do something that I'm not already doing. No, this is what I do. Every single day I go for a walk. Every single day I affirm myself. And every single day I take action and I move forward on something, right? I am never, ever stagnant. Even yesterday on my off day, every Thursday and Sundays are my off days. Yay to me. Woo-hoo-hoo. I took the Strength Finders assessment. And that was my way of moving forward or taking action. Now, the reason that I took the test, a friend and I, she had mentioned it so many times and couldn't hear her. But I read about it in the book We Should All Be Millionaires. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to invest in this. So I purchased the assessment yesterday. I did the Strength Finders. Now I know what my strengths are, which I'm not surprised by them. And that was how I took action yesterday, right? That's how I showed up for myself. Every single day, I want you to have at the top of your mind, how am I going to show up for myself? I'm going to walk every day. I'm going to affirm myself, and I'm going to take action on something. That is how you move forward. That's how you get closer to being free. That's how you start to find fulfillment. And these little bitty things that you do every single day will build the momentum, and it'll help you be more consistent. But if you are not doing anything, guess what? You'll be stuck. You will be stagnant, and you will be watching your life just pass by. And that is not good. I am so determined to be free in my life. And so that's why I get on here every single week on Fridays at noon to share what's working for me. This is why I show up in the Be Free Inner Circle the way that I do. This is why I release podcasts every single week, because my goal is to be a light and empower others to be free, period, right? And so that's why I'm here. And that's why I show up for myself, so that I can also show up for you. But you too have to do something. Right? So I hope that was helpful. One of the things I do want to also share is that this month, and then I want to answer any questions that y'all have. So this will be a great time to put your questions in the comment section or put them in a Q&A box, so that way I can answer you. And while I wait for your questions to come through, one of the things that we're working on for the month of July inside the Be Free Inner Circle is I'm teaching the women how to celebrate themselves. Now tell me in the comments, while you're thinking about your questions, like I'm asking y'all to do all the things, do you have an issue or a challenge with celebrating yourself? Let me know. Let me know if you have a challenge or issue with celebrating yourself. Most women do. I'm clear of that. And so one of the things that I started with my friends, we were just having conversation at some point. And we started, I don't even know how this came up. Maybe it was me, I don't know. But I was saying, like, we need to create a celebration list. Like, how are we going to celebrate the moments, our wins and our accomplishments in our lives? And so I started creating my own celebration list, right? And with that celebration list, anytime that I have a win in my company, anytime that I have a win in my life, anytime that I've accomplished something, I can look at that celebration list and I can pull something off and say, this is how I'm going to honor this moment. And so in the Be Free Inner Circle, that is our theme for the month of July. So every single month we have a different theme, a different challenge. This month is all about celebrating ourselves. And so I encourage the women to, number one, make a list of how they're going to celebrate themselves. And then they're going to share within the community every single week of how they're doing that. So what was a moment that they needed to celebrate, and how did they do it, and how did it make them feel? When I tell you, there's some of them are scared because they're not used to this, right? And it's like, well, I'm so used to celebrating other people. I'm so used to being there for my kids and my family. I don't know how to celebrate myself. And I'm like, that is perfect. I'm going to teach you all month how to do that, right? It is going to be amazing. So if you're someone who needs support around that, I invite you to join the Be Free Inner Circle. When I tell you, it's the most amazing membership community on the planet, where women are doing the work and showing up for themselves. And again, if you are someone who is challenged with celebrating yourself, this is the perfect time to join the community, so I can help you do that. And you can go to Be Free Inner Circle right after this call and become a member today. If you have any questions, you can always DM me and ask me. But I'm excited about that, because I cannot wait to read everything that they're going to share as it relates to honoring and celebrating themselves. I know one young lady said the other day when we were doing our live call, she said, she has a son, and she was like, I'm always giving and taking care of him. And when I try to do something for myself, if I look at the price tag and the price tag seems like it's too much, I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to do it. She was like, but with this challenge that we're doing this month, I'm really going to step outside of my comfort zone and really be intentional about celebrating myself this month. And I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I want to hear. And as they're doing it, I'm doing it in my own life as well. One of my most recent celebrations is getting this beautiful tattoo, right? And I got this tattoo just to kind of honor the woman that I'm becoming and celebrate all of the growth that I've had over the last year. And I'm working on the sleeve, and so I'm going to continue to add on to it. And so that's one of the things that's on my celebration list. So again, I invite you to join the Be Free Inner Circle so that I can support you on your journey. It will be the best decision that you make this year. And y'all, we are in the second half of the year. Like, we're in July. And if you are not where you want to be, you better join the community, right? And especially if you feel like giving up on yourself, especially if you feel like quitting, especially if you need people in your corner to support you, the best decision you can make is by joining the Be Free Inner Circle. All right, so let's get into your thoughts and your questions. I don't know where this, you got it on, Patrice. Make sure you take a picture of your new tattoo and post it in the Be Free Inner Circle. I cannot wait to see it. Elise, who's also in the Be Free Inner Circle, she just got a new tattoo as well. Am I inspiring y'all to get tattoos? Is that what we doing? Is that what's happening? Am I inspiring the community to get tatted? I love tattoos, y'all. All right, so let's see what you have to say. Miss Bree said, 76 says, I usually put everyone else's needs before myself. By the time I get to me, I don't feel worthy or have the energy to celebrate me. First of all, thank you so much for sharing your truth. I deeply appreciate that. And you are not alone. There are many women who can relate and feel the exact same way, that they put everyone in front of themselves. But then they feel defeated. They feel like nobody cares about them. But guess what? They're not loving themselves first. So I would love to support you in celebrating yourself more inside the Be Free Inner Circle. Because then that way I can coach you, I can mentor you, I can hold you accountable. And then again, the challenge, which they're sharing every single week, they're going to be sharing how they're celebrating themselves, and I'm going to be able to encourage them and inspire them to keep going, and the community gets to see what everybody else is doing. So maybe they didn't think that they could celebrate themselves in one way, and then they see another member doing it and they're like, oh, then I'm going to celebrate myself that way as well. So it'll give you ideas. But I will love to support you in that way. Let's see. Brittany says, I've gotten a little better. I remember that from working with you about celebrating my wins. Yeah, we got to celebrate our wins. Listen, who's going to celebrate us if we don't celebrate ourselves? We have to celebrate ourselves. We have to do that. Listen, life, I think we take life too seriously too. And it just becomes so mundane. And it's like, no, we got to add fun. We have to add celebration. We have to add play, like all the things, so this life can feel fulfilling and good. And I don't know, I just keep moving. Yes, Sylvia, I know you are in the Be Free Inner Circle. Yes, you are learning to celebrate yourself. Oh, Molly Mo wants to know, what are my strengths? Thank you for asking. I wonder if y'all can, well, I'll just give them. My number one strength is positivity, then futuristic, communication, developer, and input. Those are my 5 strengths. And so there's a description of each one that I'm still like processing and understanding. But those are my 5 strengths. And I'm not positivity number 1. I'm like, of course. And then I fall into what are they? They're the domains, and the 2 domains that I have the highest, I guess, number or whatever in is like strategy, and then relationship building. And I'm like, yes, I'm a community cultivator. Of course I fall under relationship building. So yeah, if y'all haven't taken it, I highly recommend taking the Strength Finder test, or assessment, I should say. Molly Mo started walking and marching. Yay! You started walking. I love it. So now let's add the affirmations and taking action every single day. Let's do that. You bought the cars for your teenage daughter, but yay! Come on, Molly Mo, come on! I'm here for it. I'm glad that you're using the affirmation cards. Yeah, I highly recommend them. And you know what else I will say? Also, my Free Your Mind journal. If you don't have the Free Your Mind journal, this is another great resource to have on your personal growth journey, because there are 40 different prompts that will help you do the inner work. And so, doing the inner work and having a resource to support you on that is going to be amazing. There's also writing exercises. There is ample enough room to write out your responses and all that jazz. And then there's also coloring pages as well. So again, this is, if you don't have the Free Your Mind journal and or the affirmation cards, I highly recommend getting both of those, because it'll be a great support system as you're focusing on not giving up. Let's see here. After I lost my sister in 2018, I felt like it wasn't fair to celebrate now that she's gone. So are you released? So how do you feel? Oh, hello from Rwanda, Africa. Hello. Welcome. I love it. Miss Bree, I'm sorry about you losing your sister in 2018. Sending you so much love and light. How are you still holding on to that belief that it's not fair to celebrate now that she's gone? Is that something that you're still working on? Let me know, because I'm going to guess that your sister would want you to celebrate your life and celebrate yourself. I'm going to guess that. Let's see. All right. So Brittany says a recent win is becoming one of the vendors of the corner neighborhood. Oh, congratulations. I should have read the whole thing. I was reading it and then, never mind. So Brittany says she has become a vendor at the corner, a neighborhood original at the Van Aken district. Congratulations. That is amazing. All right, y'all. I don't think so. No other questions. Are we done? It looks like we're done. This has been amazing. At the end of the day, I do not want you to give up on yourself. I want you to keep going no matter what. And if you need support, you can listen to this week's episode of the podcast, and the title of it is You Gotta Fight for Your Life. You can also become a member of the Be Free Inner Circle, so then that way I can wrap my arms around you and support you on this journey. I want to see every single woman find fulfillment and to be free. I want you to truly show up for yourself, and because life is amazing. It is beautiful. And even when challenges come, you still got to keep going. You still got to keep going. You said, thank you you're so welcome for the love and light. And you said you're still holding on to it. So there's some inner work to do around that, because there's still life in you, and you're still breathing, and you're still here. Right? And so even though your sister is no longer here, you still got to show up and take care of yourself. So I recommend that you figure out, okay, what is a way that I can celebrate myself and not feel bad about that? And again, I would love to support you inside the Be Free Inner Circle with that. All right, y'all, I am gone, but this was amazing. Thank you so much for showing up. I'm trying to think, I'll be in Jersey next week. So I won't be live next Friday, but I will be back the following Friday because I'll just be getting back in town. So enjoy your holiday weekend. Enjoy showing up for yourself. If y'all have any questions whatsoever, y'all know how to reach me. Thank you for showing up today, and I will see y'all in a couple weeks.